It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday, and thanks for starting the week with That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. I'm returning to the airwaves after a couple, or at least one business day hiatus and a trip up to West Virginia with my old classmates from 1996, my 20-year reunion. So it was a good time. Glad to be back here in Tampa, where things are completely different here than in West Virginia. So
I'll say
joined alongside here by my great producer here, Josh Voss, also running a live stream available over at tampabayradio.com. And Josh, I tell you what, the ingenuity of West Virginians never ceases to amaze me. Go to the 20-year reunion. Our DJ couldn't make it, so one of my good friends from high school shows up with a beer cooler turned into a speaker box. A portable, literally, it was an Igloo cooler that they had turned into a speaker box. I think you got a picture of that too. There it is. There it is. Those are the speakers on the outside. If you're watching the video stream, you can see this. There's the speakers on the outside. If you click through again, you'll see on the inside that there is an amplifier and fuses and other things on the inside of it. So that's the interior of this speaker box, and you can plug.
He basically took those trunk thumpers and put it into a
and I used to put in
Igloo.
speakers in cars, and in West Virginia, at least when I was in high school, you had to have a sound system in your car.
That was a battery and an amplifier and everything.
And because our DJ couldn't make it, he was able to save the show, so to speak. So
did he wheel it in on his goat?
Well, he wheeled it in. I mean, it's on wheels and has it's a beer cooler. It's an Igloo beer cooler.
That's too. Where was the reunion at, man? I thought it would be at like a high school. This looks like it's like a shanty.
No, that was called Smoke on the Water. It was a new bar restaurant up there in Elkins. So you plug your you can see a cell phone sitting on top of the thing, so it plugs into something inside there, and it sounds pretty good. He puts on a song.
Some Pandora going.
Yeah, well, yeah, nice. He was taking requests all night. So
really,
so I told him, I said that's the type of product that that will maybe make some waves, and maybe we'll get that in front of 1 million cups here.
Did you invite him to the show? Like maybe call in?
Well, I told him, I said I was going to pitch that to a few of my investor friends who are looking for some next great product ideas. But yeah, it's a portable beer cooler. I said it needs a little more space in there, and you got to protect the electronics inside there for the beer and stuff. But he said he knew what to do and everything. I said if you can get that to where you can put at least a 12-pack of beer in there,
that is amazing.
That's West Virginia ingenuity right there.
And he would sell the hell out of it down here, especially at all the tailgate parties. Even in St. Pete, they have the Rays tailgate parties, the Rowdies tailgate parties, the Bucks over here in Tampa.
Yeah, but
it was a great idea.
It was my friend Jake Gooden. I think his friend made the thing. He brought it with him. I'm not sure what the story was behind it exactly, but me and Jake grew up playing baseball. I told him to listen in on Monday and that I would talk about it and stuff too.
You would mention him.
Yeah, I told him I was going to mention it. I said
did he nickname you Hollywood?
No, but he was an old friend back from the days of playing baseball.
Well, back here in studio, Julianne and I were trying to figure out if you were wearing stonewashed jeans, if you jumped basically into your old 90s gear.
No, well, I can't fit in my old 90s gear anymore, so that's part of the problem.
The parachute pants, the step sideburns.
I was never much into fashion. I still am not much into fashion. I didn't start wearing jeans until like 7th grade. I was always into sweatpants and t-shirts, and so I finally started wearing jeans in like 7th grade, and I would just wear like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. Even then, I've never had an eye for fashion.
Oh man, it inspired me to go through some old family photos back when I was like in like 1991, 92, something like that. And I was sitting here making fun of you, and I found a picture of me sitting on like, you remember when they used to do the class pictures, and they would give you like an item, like say a skateboard or a baseball bat, and you would take a picture with it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got me with this like Rat Fink skateboard. I'm wearing these like cheap wannabe Nikes. They weren't even P-Wing. They were probably the cheap version of P-Wing, and I'm wearing these like blue parachute pants, and I had the Vanilla Ice steps.
See, I never got into that. Other than having to have the newest Jordan shoes. I always remember I always had to have the newest shoes.
Oh, you were that kid.
Yeah, I was that kid, but I didn't even play basketball. But other than that, I was jeans and a t-shirt kid. I wasn't anything. I still have the same haircut that I've had since first grade or second grade or whenever,
Right now, this is the same.
The same haircut, parting it over here to the right, and that's it. So I did once try to do a girl bowl cut, but it doesn't work. And I did get highlights about 10 years ago. So other than that, I've never changed my hairstyle.
My dad was into AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, so I was rocking the Joe Dirt.
So good show planned for you today. On the second part of today's hour, we'll be talking with Kent Bailey, group chairperson with the Sierra Club. We'll be talking about renewable energy. So they're an environmental club, one of the oldest, I think, in the nation. They've been around since 1892 at the Sierra Club.
Jeez, really?
But yeah. But up first, though, we're going to be talking with Amanda Merritt. She is a spiritual and transformational life coach. So, Amanda, welcome to the program today.
Hi, Jamie. So grateful to be here. Thank you.
So, first off, tell me what it means to be a spiritual and transformational life coach.
Yeah, awesome question. So, well, just to give you a little bit of my backstory, so it kind of makes sense for you. I had a great family. I had a great life, but something was missing. It was like I wasn't truly happy. I felt like I was just going through the motions. I was uninspired. I wasn't really a good student. I really had no motivation to be a good student. And I really, honestly, I didn't know how to get out of that feeling. And it went on for years. I had great friends, and on the outside it looked good, but inside I didn't feel good. And I knew at some point I had to do something about it. And so for me, where the spiritual piece comes in, for me it was just leaning on my higher power. Whatever that is for anyone else, it could mean different things. Could be just life. Could just be.
I usually rely on a Snickers bar for all of that.
Or a Snickers bar, whatever.
Gets me out of those
whatever.
moods.
All right, so you're feeling unfulfilled, and did you seek out the assistance of a coach yourself, or how did you find coaching to begin with? Because to be honest with you, until I got in the business, I never really paid attention to coaches or anything like that. I wouldn't even thought to become a coach. How did you find this?
I did not actually have a coach in the beginning. I kind of became my own coach, if that makes sense. I started reading books. I started watching all these YouTube videos of other coaches from afar. I never really had one that I worked one-on-one with right away. And it inspired me to kind of take my life in my own hands. I've always been like a do-it-yourself kind of person, figure it out on your own. Mm-hmm. And so I found inspiration through the books I read, but really kind of came from within.
So why do you sense that you were feeling empty, though, or alone or anything? You looked like you're attractive young lady and stuff. Doesn't look like you'd have any social or emotional problems, but why were you left feeling that way? I don't understand.
If you knew me then to now, you'd be like, whoa. I was not confident. I was very insecure. I was quiet and shy, which you've met me for probably only a few minutes. Yeah. You can probably see that I'm not at all.
No.
Yeah, not at all. No. But this is a product of all the inner work.
Have you always been, first off, are you originally from Tampa and everything?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Okay, so was that part of the issue, just relocating then from out of the state, or was it just more of just lacking a self-fulfillment?
Lacking the self-fulfillment, but I think when I did move here, it was 6 years ago, that was really my catalyst for change. I think
Well, you know what it was. You actually got away from the polluted Great Lakes.
Hey, now. Be nice.
Okay, so here you were, and how long ago was this transformation beginning?
I started probably about 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you came from a place of emptiness and loneliness. You found the spiritual and transformational coaching business, and now you're helping other people through these types of transition. Is that who your niche client is? Is people that are kind of just lost and empty? I mean, tell me a little bit about the type of niche client that you serve.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I mainly serve women. It just seems to be, not that I can't coach a man. I would actually love to, but my main focus is really coaching women that were in the shoes that I was in at that point in time, because I can see potential in people. Everyone has the potential to feel the way that I feel now, and it's not perfect every day. I mean, we're human. We're not always going to have our A game. We're not always going to be on our A game, So it's getting real with that, and it's kind of, I don't know, for me, it's just finding that person that knows there's a better way and is open to making the change. So it could be in their career, it could be in their love life, it could be in any area. It's not necessarily one specific area that I coach on, but it's finding a way to be open to making that change in those areas. So.
What are some of the tools that you use to coach people? I mean, is it something similar to like yoga or any kind of meditation?
Totally. Yeah, I actually have a meditation album too. I'm very big into meditation. And it doesn't have to be some big woo-woo practice if you're not into that kind of stuff. It's really getting quiet, and it's really emptying your mind, and it's really just shedding the fears that are holding you back from living your life fully.
And you said earlier that you're kind of surprised at how the business took off because, I mean, when you're doing any type of consulting business, finding clients is difficult. And you said you've had a lot of success in growing your business through the use of Instagram, of all places.
Instagram.
I mean, and you also had a blog that has, what you said, you got like 9,000 followers behind the blog now. Wow. So that's an incredible source right there. But what do you attest the growth of your client base to at this point?
Mindset and expectation. The power of our thoughts are insane. I don't know if you've read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
One of the earliest books I ever read, yes.
Yeah. So they say that, the power of writing your vision out every day. And they say the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is a millionaire writes their vision out once a day, a billionaire does it twice.
Maybe that's my problem there. I'm not writing out anything. So
yeah, me neither, man.
Yeah. So outside of money and all that, it's just, I think the whole point in that is when we get really clear on the vision, and we spend time in that vision every day and we can see it and we can feel it almost with our emotions, we start attracting the opportunities to lead us there.
But you're a spiritual and transformational life coach, not a business coach. So by clearing the mindset of the individual, it opens the person up for business opportunities. Is that what you're seeing?
Anything in life, not just business, but yeah, absolutely.
And you coach primarily women. What are they coming to you with primarily? Is it a lot of just marital problems? Is it financial problems? I mean, what are you hearing from your client base?
A lot of the women that I'm finding are unfulfilled in their careers or in their relationships, or maybe they have a limited mindset about having a relationship, or they come from unhealthy patterns.
Well, how much of that is the other person? Like, is it just their job or their spouse? I mean, is this all about finding out who you are as a person and fixing that, or is it changing your surroundings?
I think that it all comes back from us, and it's the way that we see things, and it's our mindset about anything. And for me, it's whenever you shift your mindset and you can see things differently, your world around you changes.
Now, I assume you're taking on new clients still, right? And they can find this over at amandamerritt.com. Is that correct? Okay. All right, got to take a break here. So again, visit amandamerritt.com if you're going to need some assistance with your life coaching. Amanda Merritt specializing in that. She is a spiritual and transformational life coach. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855 834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vane 911. We will help you feel great again.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481. Or visit thedrwhisperer.com, where they write your prescription for success.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still going to find those detours on State Road 60 today between Valrico and Dover Roads. That's due to that railroad crossing construction, but that is expected to be cleared up by tonight and open tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on that. Just some slow traffic on the interstates right now. Southbound 75 approaching I-4. Also, the Howard Franklin Bridge just a bit slow into Tampa. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America at ccfa.org.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 91. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
We're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talking to Amanda Merritt, spiritual and transformational life coach. Learn more about her over at amandamerritt.com, and Merritt is spelled M-A-R-I-T. So, Amanda, you talk about what it means to have a limitless life. What do you mean by this?
Yeah, good question. One of my favorite questions. So to me, having a limitless life just means that you believe that anything is possible. And that kind of sounds a little cliche, a little bit, because we hear that, like, anything is possible, believe it. I like to reframe cliche sayings like that because I feel like we hear it so much that we don't really know what the meaning is, or we don't really think about it too much. But to me, it's knowing that you create your own reality. Every day, we create it. You created the show. You held a vision, you created it. You wouldn't have created that unless you had the belief that it was possible for you to do that. And so for me, living that limitless life is really knowing that you can have, be, and do anything that you want in your life if you have that vision and you trust and you take the steps forward and you are inspired with your actions. And
this all grew out of a sense of loneliness and emptiness, and which so many people out there, feel, and even something that, I myself, sometimes battle with. We all feel a little bit, misguided or a little bit off a little bit, but you've turned that feeling into a positive thing, and so I commend you for that.
Yeah, great job with that, because whenever I do it, they want to admit me at some point.
Now, you also teach about how to change your mindset to create success in any area of your life. Is that what you find yourself doing the majority of the time when you talk with people, is just changing the mindset? Oh, I can't do this, or I don't have time for that. Tell me a little bit more about this.
Yeah, it's rewriting the story you've been telling yourself. So I have like a little prescription I always give my clients, and that's whatever's coming up for you that you want to move past. Let's say your mindset about money, you just feel lack because maybe you grew up and you didn't have anything, and so you kind of adopt that mentality throughout your life, and it kind of reflects in your life unless you change your mindset about that. So I always tell people that the first thing you have to do is to kind of feel through that. So don't just mow over those feelings and those beliefs. Feel through it. Why do you feel this way? Kind of get a little bit deep with it at first so you can face it, and then you can free it. So feel it, face it, free it, and then rewrite your story.
How often is the problem the people that they associate themselves with? I always say you're the average. I don't really say this, but I mean, I don't know this comes from other people, but you're the average of the people that you associate or you put yourself around. So how often do you find people that are just associating with the wrong crowd, so to speak?
Absolutely. And I think that totally affects the energy that you bring to the table and your thoughts. And I think that, you know, the more time you spend with people that have a negative mindset or believe certain things, you're bound to adapt to their beliefs as well.
Yeah, you always got to create a positive focus, and really by changing the environment that you find yourself in, you'll acclimate to the higher standard. It's just it's par for the course. It has to happen. Yeah. So if you associate
even if
with
it's
people,
your own family.
Yeah, and that's why I talk a lot about the mentor protege relationship. You always got to have somebody in your life, no matter where you are and how successful you are. There's always somebody more successful or more better at what that is that you're doing, and you got to have those people in your life, because I've had them all in my life, at all points. And it's like I'm chasing them. I'm always trying to, make them happy for whatever reason, and it pushes me to do better. So always have a mentor around.
Yeah, I agree. And it's one of my goals to not be the smartest guy in the room, and I'm succeeding pretty well at that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree with that. But I also think when you change your mindset, those people, sometimes they rise up with you, surprisingly, and then sometimes they fall away. So I see sometimes when I'm working with clients and they go through a major transformation, and sometimes a short period of time, maybe not even 6 months, and they feel completely different, their life changes. Yes, who they choose to surround themselves with, sometimes it changes, but sometimes they see a shift in those people, and sometimes they inspire them to change too.
The power of positivity. If you just associate with the right people, your life will change automatically. If you're having problems with depression or anxiety or just a lack of fulfillment or emptiness, a lot of the times it has to do not necessarily with yourself, but those who you're associating with. And if you are those people that I'm referring to, the associates of these people, look at yourself, take stock in what it is that you're doing. Stay off of the Facebook and posting the negative things. Focus on positivity. I challenge anybody to go through any of my social media and find anything negative on my social media. It's either positive, it's usually professional related. I stay out of the politics talk. I don't think I've ever posted anything. I may have done one or two things, but it's done with facts, and it's a neutral opinion. You got to keep that stuff professionally presented. There's just so many rants and raves on there. It drives me up a wall. Real quick, you talk about the energy cleanse. What is this?
Yeah, sure. I'm really excited to talk about this. I'm actually teaming up with one of my very, very good friends, Lena Caltagirone, who's also an attorney and a life coach too. So her and I both have this big vision to impact the world in a positive way. And so the Energy Cleanse is actually a 4-week online digital course. It's a mind, body, and soul detox. And so our mission with this is, so first of all, everything that's going on in the world right now, I know, Josh, we talked this morning about a shooting that you heard. It's like one thing after another. And so it's one thing after another. And so we ask how we can, change the world, but we need to start with ourselves. So this course will take people through a 4-week program that will help them to kind of shed any feelings, any thoughts in their lives that are negative, figure out what their energy leaks are so that they can take control of their lives, so that they can almost kickstart positivity.
All right. Yeah. Good information and very inspiring talk on this early Monday morning from Amanda Merritt. Thank you so much for being in studio.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And a good story, coming from a sense of emptiness to being a spiritual and transformational life coach and helping to inspire others. Be sure to learn more about her over at amandamerritt.com, spelled Merritt, M-A-R-I-T. Coming back from the break, I'll be talking to Kent Bailey, group chairperson with the Sierra Club on That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
The injury firm of Abrahamson, Udor, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Boys and Girls Club of America.
It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids. And when school's out, clubs are in. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecast starting the week in the lower 90s, 40% chance of rain, partly sunny skies, overnight lows, upper 70s near 80 degrees. Rain chance up over the next couple of days, temperature staying in the low 90s. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 here on Tampa Bay's 1250 Wins WHNZ. Learn more about the program over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also be reminded, in partnership with the Tampa Bay business owners, we had an amazing Christmas in July. That was last Thursday. I wasn't able to talk about it on Friday because I was at my high school reunion. But we did the Christmas in July over the T. Pepin Center. We had a tremendous turnout, a great attendance. All the vendors were very happy. A lot of business transpired as a result of that. And so that leads into our next big event, which is going to be at the end of October, the Business Symposium. So we'll be talking more and more about that through the months here ahead of that. But that's going to be over at the Hotel Carillon over there in St. Petersburg, or the Hilton on Lake Carillon Drive or something. So looking forward to that one too. Going to be a great event.
It sounds like a great event. Hey, on your way back from West Virginia, did you play your theme song?
What's my theme song?
Just a small town.
A little Journey action, yeah. No, but I'll tell you what, though. I was at the Jabberwock in Elkins, and they had an 80s cover band, and they played that cover, and I swear it was the worst cover I've ever heard of that song, too. So, small town bands up in hometown.
You just got babied by all these great bands in Tampa.
So, and the Happening Bar in Elkins is literally the size of, like, a big living room or something. It's so crowded in there, and then there's this band, and they're crowded up in the corner up there playing 80s cover songs. And so
you didn't run into Jessica White at any point?
No. Jessica's down in the Charleston area, anyways. But that's a whole other talking point in of itself. If anybody wants to be entertained for a while, go to YouTube and type in a Dance and Outlaw or Jessica White.
The Whites of West Virginia.
The Whites of West Virginia. It'll keep you entertained for a few days, and so that was.
And don't judge Jamie, dude. He's a completely professional guy. He's nothing like those people at all. They're just really funny people.
So, but that's the environment I came out of. So, but it's a good environment and stuff. But
it
was
ruined what I just said.
I did say though it took me like 3 or 4 years of cultural adjustment coming from the country mountains of West Virginia to a city business life, and even then I wasn't ready for business. It took me a while to kind of acclimate to professional standards. I was kind of just the old country redneck and stuff. So, but good times had up at my high school reunion. I got a picture of the group up on my Facebook page right now, but I'll post some other pictures and stuff.
It actually sounds like you picked up your accent again.
Yeah, so
you got a little bit more, a little drawl going on there.
Yeah, so
I'm waiting for him to say shindig.
Yeah, it took me a few years to get the accent out, but I used to talk more like this right here. Yeah, that's how the boys up there talk right there. So, but nonetheless, so let's bring on my next guest for the program, Kent Bailey. He is the chairperson with the Sierra Club, an environmental organization that's been around since 1892. So, Kent, welcome to the program today.
Good morning, Jamie. Thank you.
So, Kent, first off, just tell me a little bit more about the Sierra Club. What is this?
The Sierra Club is America's largest and oldest environmental organization, as you mentioned, from 1892. We have almost 2.5 million members and supporters at this time. And we work to bring forward environmental solutions now, to actually working very hard to preserve a future for our grandchildren.
Now, this goes back to 1892. I couldn't imagine there was people concerned about the environment in 1892. What was going on back in 1892 that inspired the Sierra Club?
Well, and you're exactly right. People weren't generally very concerned about the environment. The West seemed to be limitless and indestructible. And we were losing a lot of precious, irreplaceable, unique natural treasures. And a man named John Muir started the Sierra Club to prevent the construction of a dam that it is a Hitchy Valley, very similar to the Yosemite Valley, a sister valley. And he started the organization to prevent that from being flooded by a dam. And his idea was we would, because of course you didn't have automobiles, you didn't have highways, you didn't have television, people had no way of knowing what was out there. The average person had no access to appreciate these wonders of nature that were being threatened. And so he formed a group of people that became the Sierra Club. They constructed trails and campsites and led people out into the wilderness to show them firsthand what was being threatened and what we needed to save. One of his, he took President Theodore Roosevelt out and showed him these things, and is giving credit with inspiring the creation of the national park system as we know it now by sharing these places with
the Sierra Club is the reason we have national parks and things like that?
Well,
they had an influence on it, I should say then?
Yeah, partly at least.
What's that?
Partly at least.
Yep.
Yeah, John Muir took Theodore Roosevelt out on several trips, and they explored it. Theodore Roosevelt, of course, was a very avid sportsman and outdoorsman. He appreciated the outdoors. And at that time, conservation was coming of age.
So this has grown to 2 million members today?
We have we were currently at 2.4 members and supporters.
Wow. So what issues through the years helped the Sierra Club grow? I mean, today you have issues like, renewable energy and, of course, climate change, things of that nature that are, propelling your membership. But what were the issues through the early 20th century that kept the membership growing?
Preserving our wild spaces was huge. Working to prevent the commercialization of unique properties, acreages, forests, valleys, wilderness areas. The Western United States especially has got vast areas of land now that are publicly owned,
right? And
every American has a share in those. And it's been very important that we preserve, set areas aside so that they'll be there for future generations. We also early on worked on pollution. There was the famous time when Lake Erie, I think it was, or the river up there caught on fire.
Yeah, okay.
We worked very hard for passage of Clean Air, Clean Water Act.
That stuff's starting to happen again when there's places with fracking and stuff. Some of those water supplies have been tainted. They're catching on fire again too now.
It's a very serious problem. And the south of Florida, both coasts, right now, the president of the Chamber of Commerce of Fort Myers Beach was at a meeting with Marco Rubio, and other business leaders were with him in that meeting just recently. And he told Senator Rubio, Fort Myers Beach is in recession. We have businesses down there 30 to 40% from what it used to be. German tourists in particular, I guess he mentioned, are not coming because nationally and internationally, Florida is being tainted as being shown to be as a polluted state.
Now, one of the big things that the Sierra Club is behind is renewable energy. Obviously, Florida being one of only 4 states in the nation where private capital cannot be invested in renewable energy production and sell that energy through the grid. Why don't we allow free enterprise for renewable energy in the states?
Well, it's controlled by the state government, and I think it's safe to say that the people who are currently supplying energy to Florida, to the grid, are very actively resisting this. They have brought forward a very bogus amendment that will be on the November ballot that would basically enshrine forever as a constitutional amendment protecting the utilities from competition by privately owned renewable energy sources. So this is a constitutional amendment in November. Now, not to be confused with one that's going to be on the August 30th ballot.
Okay.
On the Amendment 4 on August 30th is an amendment that would help renewable energy in Florida by protecting renewable energy properties from property taxes, and it's a tax exemption for renewable energy installations that businesses and people might want to put up. So we are telling people vote for in August and vote no in November.
Now, in our area, as we all know, like in Tampa, we got to go to Tampa Electric or TECO for our power. And in other states, I mean, there are multiple service providers for electric and different utilities. But this law in Florida is preventing these other service providers from coming in the area. Is that correct?
It's the Public Service Commission, which is populated by people from the industry.
And so how can we get, our voices heard then? We got to go out on August 30th and vote yes on Amendment 4. And, of course, let me ask you this, though. What is the argument for the monopoly of the power companies in the area? What are they saying why they would keep out the competition?
Well, there is a gloom and doom scenario that if we allow uncontrolled expansion of renewable and solar energy, when the sun goes down, the lights will go out.
Right.
And that's just not the case. First off, you're talking about something that's going to take decades to accomplish. The rate of progress in the field of renewable energy is just dizzying. The technology is advancing so very quickly that there is no reason not to get on board right now and start moving forward. What's called base load that would be carried by nuclear or gas-fired power plants that can be rapidly started up is more than sufficient to carry us through these. In Florida, the peak energy demand pretty much corresponds with peak production. It's when the sun shines.
Right.
During the day, when people are working and using energy and trying to keep cool, that our demand is the greatest.
Is solar energy our best option for renewable energy in Florida, or what is?
In Florida, it is solar.
But it costs a lot to outfit a home with solar panels, does it not? Can you attest to that, or can you dispute that?
Dubai just recently took a contract for an 800 megawatt generation facility, solar, for 3 cents a kilowatt hour. That's about 1/4 what we pay for electricity in Florida. Now, Dubai has, of course, plenty of oil, but they're on a program to be 100% energy renewable in over a relatively short term. And I don't really think they're doing it out of concern for the environment. I think they're doing it for dollars and cents reasons. Right now, you can put a solar array on your house that will completely pay for itself in about 8 years and continue to produce electricity for 25 years.
And aren't there situations where people produce an overage of electricity, and in some states they can actually sell that back to the grid, but they can't in Florida, though, right?
That is the problem. So in Florida, for businesses or homeowners, you right-size your system so that it produces just a little less than what you're going to consume so that you're getting the full benefit of the electricity that you produce.
Good talk here. Got to take a break. Currently talking to Kent Bailey. He's a chairperson with the Sierra Club, and you can learn more about this over at sierraclub.org, and they have a Florida Tampa Bay chapter too. So just look up their chapter there to get some more information on Kent Bailey. Got a lot more talking about renewable energy when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today, or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Serious crash in Clearwater on eastbound Gulf to Bay approaching McMullen Booth and the Bayside Bridge. It has traffic now slow back to US 19, so avoid this area. Heavy traffic on the Howard Franklin Bridge from Midspan into the West Shore area. Also eastbound and westbound I-4 just a bit slow near downtown Tampa. Southbound Veterans slow south of Wilski. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Around the world, there are young people who face a difficult decision: continue their dream of education or drop out to help support their families. In a single moment, you can help them write a new story. See potential, not poverty, at unbound.org.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 91. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talking to Kent Bailey, chairperson with the Sierra Club. Learn more about them over at sierraclub.org. So, Kent, we're talking about ways that people that are concerned about the environment can get involved. A couple of amendments up on the ballot here in August and also in November. But also you have meetings and stuff available for people to get involved with. What are some ways?
Thank you, Jamie. Yes, the Sierra Club selected St. Petersburg to be one of 5 cities where they're rolling out a Ready for 100 program, where we're seeking cities to make a commitment to become 100% energy renewable in a very definite time frame. Several cities across the United States are doing this. Matter of fact, many countries across the world are doing this. And in part of the St. Pete Ready for 100 program, there is going to be they're putting together a solar co-op. There will be a meeting this Thursday on July the 28th at the St. Petersburg Sunshine Center Auditorium, and that's at 330 5th Street North in St. Pete, Florida, and that will start at 6 p.m. Of course, you can go to the St. Suncoast Sierra Club website or check Meetup. There is a Meetup link from the Tampa Bay group website also, and find out more about that meeting if you have some information. The object of the solar co-op is to reduce the cost to businesses and homeowners, anybody that's got a roof, and you do not have to be in Pinellas County. You can be in Hillsborough County too. Reduce the cost by 20%. Now, you also are getting a 30% rebate on your taxes from the federal government for solar installations. So this really is helping to bring the cost down and bring forward renewable energy in Florida.
Now, we're seeing electricity prices rise. Why are electricity prices continuing to rise in our area? Is it because we have the monopoly in the area, or are there other environmental or market conditions that are driving these rises?
There's several things are happening. We're converting from coal to gas, so they're building new power plants. I'm really not that well versed in how the electric rates are structured. I'm more focused on showing people how to escape that altogether.
Right, because we're battling that, and it seems like every time we turn around, we got some type of a rate increase, and obviously without the proper competition, we're going to have that. But I'm sure there's some type of market condition involved as well. At least I would hope there is too.
We've got no choice but to pay it.
Yeah, and I see you out here. The fossil fuel industries in America is one of the most highly subsidized, government subsidized industries in the world, or at least products subsidized. $37.5 billion annually in government subsidies goes to fossil fuels in America.
That is what Oil Change International estimates it to be. There are estimates that range as low as $10 billion to over $50 billion annually. And the reason I mention that is because people want to point to renewable energy and say, well, it's just not economically viable without government subsidies. And we ignore the fact that government is selling coal leases for practically nothing, and directly and indirectly subsidizing fossil fuel industries in many other ways. And by that cost does not include at all the environmental impact of the fossil fuel industry. It doesn't take into account the fact that we have more than 37,000 premature deaths in America every year from soot.
Right, because that stuff has an impact. I think you're saying has a play on autism and shortens lives, obviously reduces the productivity of the workers and the people that work around that type of environment. I know in West Virginia, I grew up around the coal industry, so I can attest. I saw, my friends' parents come home from the coal industry. They were covered in soot, and obviously that stuff's getting into their lungs, and too, with black lung, a very, very bad condition that coal miners would get throughout their lives working in the mines.
Diesel fumes have recently been linked to autism. And, we seem to be having an epidemic almost of autism.
Right.
And mercury is one of the pollutants that comes from burning coal. And this is to say nothing of the impact of CO2 and methane. Methane is a big byproduct. There's a lot of spillage of methane from the fracking that goes on, to say nothing of the damage it's doing to our aquifer. And, oh, by the way, we are running out of water, and when we run out of water, we're pretty shortly thereafter going to run out of food.
And you hear a lot about fracking in the news and stuff, and they're taking over a lot of farmland throughout the Midwest as these farmers are. I mean, they're gold mines for the people that own that land. What type of value is there for the total environment for us as a species in fracking? Should we be investing in fracking from an environmental standpoint?
Fracking is one of the worst things we could do at this time. Using fracked gas in Florida to create electricity is just about as unwise as you could be.
Well, you wouldn't want to do it in Florida because there's all kinds of sinkholes and soft ground, so we're not really meant for fracking in Florida.
Well,
it's going on though. Yes, I remember reporting on a story when I was doing the real estate show about people that were selling when they're buying homes from developers. They were inside their contracts. They were releasing unknowingly because they didn't read the fine print the subsurface rights to their homes because they were predicting that there would be fracking companies that would come in. They'd set up shop about a mile down the road and then they'd run a pipe down under the ground and then adjacent to your home underneath your home to be able to frack, which is a huge concern of mine if I knew that was going to happen to my home because of you don't want to be messing with the ground in Florida. Your sinkholes will open up and stuff.
And it's not just fracked gas in Florida right now is coming from out of state primarily. Where there's Sierra Club is resisting construction of it's called a Sable Trail pipeline, which will bring gas from other places into Florida, not only for production of power but also for export.
Does the Sierra Club have anything to do with any wildlife conservation, or is it just primarily focused on land conservation? I can't even speak.
Conservation?
Yeah. Thanks, Jamie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we are very active in preserving wildlife. The Florida panther is one of the apex predators in Florida that we're very aggressively protecting. To protect the panthers, basically what we need to do is use the funds from the Amendment 1 that was passed overwhelmingly. But, I have to remind our politicians that Amendment 1 got more votes than any of them ever dreamed of getting. Mm-hmm. It was passed by an overwhelming majority. And so far, those funds are not being used the way most voters thought they would be used.
That's usually the case, so unfortunately, in politics, the funds don't ever get appropriated, or I shouldn't say appropriated, but dispensed the way they are supposed to. So, well, a good discussion, although a brief one on renewable energy. Obviously, we can get pretty deep into that topic, but we got to wrap it up as we're at the top of the hour break. So, Kent Bailey, thank you so much for being in studio and for what you're doing to help our community.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
You're welcome. Again, Kent Bailey, chairperson with the Sierra Club. Learn more about him and his organization over at sierraclub.org. Also want to thank my guest there in the 7 o'clock hour, Amanda Merritt, spiritual and transformational life coach. You can learn more about her over at amandamerritt.com. Coming back for a break, we'll be talking with Matt Rutzkowitz, founder of Surge Curve, and then also on the 8:30 segment, Kristen Chittenden, president of the Young Youth Men's Service League. It's a long organization. I want to look that up again, make sure I said that right. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.